So hi guys, welcome to the brand new episode of What's the Podcast. In this video, we have invited a lead designer who is currently working in Atlassian and formerly he was working in EPAM and SimpliLearn. We are going to capture a lot of key insights from him as a UI UX designer. We will try to figure out how you as a UI UX designer can get into these big MNCs. What is the procedure? How you can get a lot of referrals for these companies. Before starting this video, there would be some audio quality issues, so I hope you guys will uh, cope up with this video. But this video has a lot of very good content, so please stick to this video and watch as much as you can. My topic of the video is like how to not to be as a just a normal typical designer only. How can a designer can be a problem solver? Because people think UI UX designing is just like designing a screens only, right? But we also know like we are into the market and we know companies are not looking for just a screen designer only. They are looking for someone who can solve their problems, right? With the problems they are dealing with as well. So, what would you suggest how one can be a good problem solver as a UX designer?
All right. So basically, if you look at my profile, I'm coming from a very wide background. So during my internship, I was working as a research intern where I was a kind of a full stack developer. Then I moved to DevOps for 4 months. After that, for a year and a half, I worked as a data engineer in one of the company. And in that role, I realized that, okay, it's not just about the data, but whatever the insights you are getting, how exactly you can use it for better customer acquisition or retention or any metrics that you are chasing. So basically, I thought that okay, now something how exactly we can scale up the things. Then I find SimpliLearn. SimpliLearn is a tech platform, so it was a startup. It was a very good start for me to understand that whatever we are designing, how we can scale up the product, right? So that's where SimpliLearn I learned all of that, and then I joined EPAM where I was working for Novartis Sydney, and it was more into a data analyst platform. So there my role was about understanding whatever the medicines that Novartis is creating, how that distribution can be made easy. And so it's easy for the user at the end to know how their complete satisfaction score is increasing whenever they are taking up any medicines, how exactly that is going to be improved. And now at Atlassian, it's more into I look for pre-production side of the things or of Jira and Confluence. So it's a more kind of a research work. It's not just the screen designing and whatever you are doing. Let's say even if you have to come up with some feature, right? You need to look for some kind of a data so that you can say, okay, this is the thing that you should be doing. What is the reason behind that? That is something I think very important. And also, I would say that it's not just about creating the screens and all. What kind of a business metrics are you chasing, right? Okay. To incentivize your user, or is it for user retention, or you are entering in some new market and you want to monetize the user, right? There is always some kind of a metrics that you have to chase. So based on that, your design should be there.
I see. So, what would you recommend to designers to keep some kind of activities in their practice so that they can also become like good researcher?
I would say that read a lot of case studies,
Okay.
not the one, not the people portfolio, but in terms of business, how exactly they are doing. If let's say Tesla has come up with some idea,
Mhm.
how they have done that, what is the agenda behind that? If you remember that Cybertruck, right, that they have bought, they've broken the glass, right? What was the strategy behind that? Why they have done that? It's not just about the design, right? That they have
Right.
over there. It was that it actually people will see that yeah, this is something the glass has been broken. Now they will purchase it. So that's how the market works. It's not just the screens, and this is what early stage startups they simply just start working on the product.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
what exactly the customer wants. And this is one of the biggest reason they fail. And even the same things goes with the features. If you are in a team and you're working on some kind of a feature or a product and you're not doing your research previously, and after launching the product, you're realizing, oh yeah, nobody is using it. Why have created it? You don't have any solution for it. And then the moment you are gone.
Okay. So in Atlassian, currently you're working in Atlassian, right? So how uh, things you can say, like what are the different things that you are uh, experiencing here other than maybe the company which you have previously worked for? What makes Atlassian more good, you can say?
So it depends, right? Earlier, when I was working, it was like you are two, three people in a team who is working on the same product. Here, it's more like you have to work independently. You have to deal with all other team members. So there is nothing more related to the guidance or something. Whatever the decision that you are going to take, it's your responsibility that the business should move.
Oh, I
All right.
see.
So there is a difference in different companies. Even the same thing was happening in Novartis as well. But when I was in SimpliLearn, it's more like we are a team of 10, 12 members. Whatever
Mhm.
we are building, everyone is taking care of something. Like somebody is taking care of visual design, somebody is taking care of user flows. Then there is a person who will take care of the development. So we are a wide team. But in
Okay.
life, we are having a very small teams. So everyone take the accountability. Okay, you are doing this. It's your responsibility. As simple as that.
Okay. So because see, honestly, I would like to know, like, even I was also be a part of Atlassian also because I have heard a very good review about Atlassian. Like when I was trying to like to get a job in the Bangalore only. So I did not get any chance. Basically, I have heard like Atlassian is kind of a company who works on referral more than like applying on maybe online portal. So is it true or what?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. So how was the experience like? How was your experience to get into Atlassian basically? How was the interview
I
process?
would say that it's not just about your case studies or the screens that you are showing or what are the design process you have gone through. Because in reality, it's not like you are using Lean UX or Double Diamond or something like that. It depends on the problem that you are solving, right? And what exactly is the outcome of that. So we usually focus on the outcome. So whatever the designs that you have created, right?
Mhm.
So few companies, what as a designer, people think that okay, we have done something, we have created this application. That's it. They have pushed it to development now. It's not their responsibility, right? But what exactly we need is whatever the designs that you have created and it's in the market now, whether it's a mobile application, web application, what kind of outcome it's giving. And then based on that, how exactly you are iterating the designs, right? That is something more important than just creating the wireframes and just, okay, this is done, done, done. No, no, it's a big no. So let's say when I was working in SimpliLearn, right? So I worked on the payment gateway. So the problem that we were solving is that people were actually, they were coming on the payment gateway and they were not completing the payment. It was a very tricky payment gateway for them. So when we have launched a new payment gateway, within a week we have received 1,000 plus orders.
Mm. Oh, nice.
It's like you're directly bringing up the business, right?
Uh,
And something that companies and even in the interview, if you pitch few things like, okay, we have moved that directly the revenue, obviously people are going to read about that, how you have done that, what are
right.
the things that you have made in the flows, right? So that actually worked well for me over here.
Okay, so does Atlassian have for interns also in the UX?
Right now, I'm not sure about that. I'm not that the part of that team, but yes, they do hire, but I'm not sure about it. They basically look for people with 3+ years of experience mainly. That
Mhm.
are there. Yeah.
Okay. So I have heard that Atlassian has their own design system, right? And
Yes.
I have also seen their design system.
There's a system like you will get everything out there, and we have a team of around a lot of members are there who is working on design systems, and we keep on upgrading it. Like
Oh, I see.
it's like every 2 3 months the design system is getting upgraded.
So is it something like you have to stick to that design system for every single product that you are making?
Yeah. Even if you are thinking for a heading now, we are having a complete design system for that.
Oh, so the whole design system is in Figma, right? With the like with the component libraries
Uh,
and every design token something.
yeah, everything is in Figma.
Oh, so even like you as a designer also you also work in Figma only, or is there any other tool that you also
It
work?
depends on a team to team, but I prefer using Figma. But again, if If you have a hands-on on some different tool, that's fine. But yeah, everything is on Figma, so people prefer using Figma.
Okay, so does they also ask you to do some kind of coding while you are designing?
Not actually, but being a researcher and I'm coming from a data platform, so it's like whenever you're building any product, it's good to go to Tableau or any other analytics tool and to learn more about the platform, how people are dealing with it, right?
Mhm.
That actually helps. It's not something specific to coding, but yes, if you know that, it's really going to be helpful for you in taking the right decisions. So whenever you are doing a qualitative or quantitative analysis, right, it helps you a lot. So that what actually happens is whenever you're designing, right, some other stakeholders will come, PM will come, they will say, no, I like this. Why you are doing in this way, right? There is always a discussion always happening and people are pushing you, no, I want it in this way. So if you
Right.
have data knowledge and you know few tools or platforms, you can always say that this is the right way. So you don't need to iterate again and just, अरे यार फिर ये बोल दिया मुझे ऐसा नहीं होता है फिर.
Right. नहीं वो है कि like even what I have heard in the like because I've been giving free workshops to beginners in the market, right? For the free UX workshop I've been giving. So what do they ask is do they ask these kind of questions a lot? Like, do I need to have a coding experience also? Right?
Not
Do I need to maybe you can say learn different or you can say various softwares to get into a big MNC, maybe you can say a better company. So
I don't think so. See, it depends what kind of a designer you are. And there are few people who are just a researcher, right? They don't design. They are a hands-on on core UX, right? Then there are a person who are into a graphic designing thing, like logos and all. They are poster designing. They are quite good in that. And then there are people who are more into visual designs, right? And then there is a person who is a hybrid designer who know something of graphics, something of VD, something of research, right? It's really very important to know where you lies and what exactly is the requirement in the company. So if it matches, go for it. And
okay.
for particular thing, obviously, if you are into core research,
Mhm.
I believe that you should be dealing with a lot of data in hand.
Right, right.
And
It can it mostly it will be a quantitative data, right?
so in that case, it's better if you know Python and Matplot library and all. It's really going to be helpful for you if you know data cleaning and what kind of insights you can gather from there. So if there is a data analyst in your team, then that's fine. But in most of the cases, that's not there, right? So it actually helps you out. Or in a long run, obviously, if you know multiple things, it actually helps you out. And even as a designer, if you are designing for web, it's better to understand JavaScript and CSS so that you don't come up with some interaction that is actually not feasible. And you're saying, "यार,
Right.
बता दिया मैंने, बहुत sexy लग रहा है, ऐसा नहीं होता."
हाँ,
So
वही
that's the
right.
yeah.
मैं भी लाइक वही बोलता हूँ बिगिनर्स को कि एट कंपनी डज नॉट आस्क यू फॉर टू नो अबाउट द कोडिंग लाइक उनको ऐसा नहीं कि उन्हें तुमसे कोड करवाना है
Hmm,
दे जस्ट आस्क यू दिस थिंग बिकॉज यू आल्सो नो हाउ व्हाट आर द लिमिटेशंस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट
hmm,
अगर वो
right.
ही नहीं पता होगा तुमने कुछ और डिजाइन करके दे दिया भाई ये बना के दे दो खतरनाक सा हो जैसे लाइक एज वी यूजुअली सी इन डिजाइनिंग मीम्स आल्सो
Hmm,
वो कुछ कुछ खतरनाक सा बना के देते फिर डेवलपर बोलता भाई क्या बना के दे दिया ये
ah,
like kind of physical things you have to make. That's why you made
hmm,
the understanding of code. So like,
right.
yeah. So what are the pros and cons of working in a big organization?
Pros and cons. Okay, that's a quite tricky question. Yeah. See, say that pros. Obviously, there are a lot of pros. Okay. I will go on cons first. Okay. तो यार एक चीज ये होती है when you say that you're working in a big company, so the things are like you don't have to go through everything in a week. So when you're working in a startup or a small scale company, it's like you have to complete a feature or any product you're building, right? Within like this is what I have seen. Yeah. So there are thousands of screens that you are designing within 1 week and you have to push them and within 2 weeks that product is live, right? But in a big scale company, you can invest more time in research. So whatever you are doing, that should be covered, and so that we don't have to rely on this. So we usually do that after user feedbacks and all. But that time span is quite less in big companies as compared to the smaller scale. But there is a lot of growth in a smaller scale because you are experimenting so fast now. आपका दिमाग ऐसे चलता है यार ये तो करते हैं, ऐसे कर सकते हैं. If you're in your early career, that's good. Obviously, it's good, but it's not a 9 to 5 job. You have to work like late nights because you have to push things as simple as that.
Right.
Yeah, and obviously, with biggest scale company, you will get more time with your family and all. Right? Those are
So,
fun compliments.
okay. What what uh, what is the most special thing that you think about the Atlassian that is giving? Only one. Is there any one thing that you think you may not get in any other organization?
Remote
Till
work.
the time you have.
Remote work.
Oh,
So last week I was working from Himalayas, and next week again I'm going for another trip. So it's fine, right? And when I joined, I was working from Goa. So my manager said, "Okay, you are in Goa." And I yes, okay, that's fine. Will you do this? I'm like, I will do this. So obviously, you don't have to like, okay, you have to go to office. Obviously, sometimes you have to go. But it's not you have to be present in the office. That's not the case
oh, I see.
because my team is in Sydney, so I don't need to worry about it. So
Oh,
there is also a time difference. That's it.
I see. Okay. So, what would you suggest to a beginner? Like, you can say, like, there is a situation in anyone's career, in everyone's career, where they think, okay, so is it a right time to apply in a MNC, right? So, what do you think? Is there any uh, time or a day or a limit that you can say that one should cross? Then they if they apply to MNC, then they can get a better results.
See, there is nothing like a right or wrong time.
Mhm.
If you think that you have learned something in your previous organization and you're looking for a change, go for it. Apply in hundreds of companies, as simple as that. If you look for current market situation, if you're applying in 100 companies, you will get 10 replies, and out of that, I think you will get one offer letter. As simple as that.
Wonderful. Absolutely.
For that ratio now, obviously. And people actually say that, Arey, yaar, I have a 3 months of notice period. Why should I do it?" Go for it. Give it a chance. Give the interviews. Never stop giving your interviews. As simple as that. Because
Correct.
कब तुक्का लग जाए ना, you never know that.
हाँ वही है तो नहीं मतलब मेरे पूछने का थोड़ा सा इस तरीके से मतलब था कि
What's the best time to
कब
switch?
हाँ कब मेरे को लग रहा है कि नाउ आई विल बी इनफ टू गेट इनटू एमएनसी की अब आई थिंक मेरे पास इतना स्किल्स है मे बी इतना है कि मैं एटलीस्ट इंटरव्यू क्रैक कर पाऊँ मतलब एक होता है ना कि सेल्फ बोल सकते कि
So basically, you're saying that,
ऑब्जर्वेशंस
okay, now I'm prepared. And भाई मुझे तो आज तक नहीं लगा.
अरे भाई
भाई सही बता रहा हूँ मैं. So it's like whenever you are doing something, right?
हाँ,
लगता है यार अब मैंने करा है इतना सब कुछ उखाड़ा है. I should give it a try. And I simply go for interview. Simple. And what I really think is talk about businessman, whether you are an engineer, front end developer, back end developer, designer, product manager, it's all about the business that you are creating. बस और किसी को कोई मतलब नहीं है. आप कितना पैसा ला के दे रहे हो ना अपने काम से, that really matters. उससे आगे कुछ नहीं.
I see.
And रही बात आपकी the question that you asked, what is the best time to switch, right? If you are looking for companies outside India, that is US, UK, Australia, or something like that, so their financial year ends in December, right? So January to March, you will get a lot of openings if you're looking for a remote job.
Okay.
That's the best time. If you're looking for India, obviously this is the right time because April to June, this is the new financial year. Lot of openings.
Right.
Most of the people are getting their appraisal and then they are leaving. So
Right.
this will be there and then they are jumping from one company to another. Yeah.
Right. हाँ सबका वही चल रहा है right. Okay. So uh, how did you get into the class in basically? Like, did you get some kind of a reference or what?
Yes.
Okay. So reference मिलने में how easy it was to get a reference?
You can simply reach out to people on LinkedIn, man.
नहीं देखो क्या ऐसा होता है कि
And one thing I will say that attach your CV, job ID, and your case studies, your portfolio over there. Don't just hop, hey, hi, how are you? Hey, simply mention that this is the job ID I'm looking for, this is my portfolio, this is my CV, and send. Let's see, if you're sending it to 5 people, obviously one will reply.
Right. इसमें कैसा ना कि एक चीज मैंने एक्सपीरियंस जो करी द थिंग इज people do not reply to, you can say, boys profile very frequently.
I don't think so. Depends, man. It depends. आप किसको भेज रहे हो? If you are going to send it to someone who is already in their initial career, like software engineer, one, product designer, one, भाई उनको खुद नहीं पता क्या करना है जिंदगी में. Directly go to the managers, find hiring managers, send them.
Okay.
Some,
So,
yeah.
so मतलब वही कि अगर मेरे पास अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस है, let's say कि I have more than 3 or 4 years experience. So is it good to message manager or to a designer?
Look for senior profile.
Okay.
हाँ,
Yes.
मतलब the one who has recently joined, उनका तो referral का कोई मतलब नहीं होता.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because, they are already in their probation period and you are asking them. It makes no sense. And then people who are already in their early career, भाई वो बंदा खुद ही सीख रहा है अभी और उसकी कोई उसका नहीं देखा जाता है. Unless and until you are not referring someone with 10 plus years of experience, you look in their profile whether you are a very junior person in the team. That's how things happen because senior को हमेशा देखेंगे. If you are a junior, you are referring a junior, nobody gives a damn. Simple reject होते हैं उसमें.
Okay, so one last question, right? What are the differences between a UX designer who's working in a startup and working in an MNC?
What is the difference in that? Right? Calm, work, time.
नहीं skills based में अगर मान लो कि
So, see,
once I'm working
if you're in a startup, right, you will be in a multiple shoes. You have to work on as a UX, and also sometimes there can be a possibility that you are working on a front end development as well, right? React.js, AngularJS, whatever the company is working, and then you need to look for VD as well, graphic design, everything, whatever is the requirement. But again, it's like we have a dedicated person for one thing. That this person will take care of research, this person will take care of VD, this person will take care of graphics. So we have a dedicated person. Unless and until you are not a hybrid person, in the long run, that will not take. You should be really good at that. That is something that I prefer. Right? So either you can be a V-shaped person or a T-shaped person. So do you understand what is V-shape and T-shape?
Yes. No, that's correct. According to you, does it require to have a degree in design?
I don't have a degree.
Should have
I don't have a degree in design. I have a degree in BTech Science and Engineering, and I have done my master's in cloud computing. I worked as a data engineer. Now I'm on design.
I hope you would have liked this content, and I am trying to invite more designers on this channel. So I hope you will give a like to this video, and please subscribe to this channel so that you can get notification for upcoming podcasts that I will upload. And trust me, there are a lot of podcasts that in the pipeline, right? And I have talked to some of the lead designers in the industry. So subscribe and share this channel.